So you've brought it up maybe more than once. I'm definitely going to go with more than once. And every time something happens and you mention it, he shuts down or he turns it around on you. He listens just enough to make you feel like you're the one being unreasonable or making a big fuss out of something that shouldn't be this big of a deal. And then nothing changes. So you let it go again and you tell yourself it wasn't that big of a deal again. But here's the thing, it is a big deal. And somewhere underneath all of that, letting it go and keeping the peace, I think you know it is. If you've been wondering lately if you're overreacting, if you're being too sensitive, or maybe you're the problem, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes because I think you're going to hear some things that are going to make a lot of sense to you. I'm Karen, your Should I Stay or Should I Go relationship coach, and I work with women who are exactly where you are right now. So let's get into it. Here's what I want you to understand first. When you're trying to bring something up and it goes nowhere or it gets turned back on you, something starts to happen inside you. You start to question your own thoughts on something, your own interpretation of events. And so you start to wonder, am I making this bigger than it really is? Would someone else be okay with this? Is it actually a problem or is it just me? And the longer that goes on, the less you trust yourself. And I swear, I hate that part more than anything for the women I work with. I don't want anybody to feel like this. Like you can't trust your own instincts on something. You can't trust your own feelings or reactions or emotions because the result of that is you start to manage yourself. You start to edit what you're going to say before you say it. You think about how he's going to react before you even open your mouth. You minimize your own feelings before he even gets the chance to. You become the person who keeps quiet to keep the peace, even when the peace that you're going for isn't actually the thing that you're getting. And I want you to hear that this is not a character flaw. This is actually what happens when someone's feelings gets dismissed consistently again and again over time. You just figure out it's not worth it. And it feels like a space that's actually not safe to bring something up anyway. And so you stop. That's not weakness, that's survival. And it makes complete sense that you end up there. What happens is there's a loop. Something happens, you feel some kind of way, you question whether or not you should feel it, you let it go, nothing changes. Rinse and repeat. And this loop is exhausting. The longer it goes on, the more your confidence and your ability to accurately judge a situation erodes. Eventually, you don't know what's real anymore, but you know that you feel hurt, you feel confused, and you feel like you're out of options. You're stuck in that loop. You've been trying to fix it, trying to adjust yourself all over the place. Try to be more patient, try to time it differently, try to say the exact words, try letting things go. None of it's working because those things don't actually address the situation that's happening, which is really when you lose your voice. The problem isn't that you haven't tried hard enough. The problem is that you've been trying to fix the wrong thing and it's not working because really what needs to be worked on is to reconnect with yourself and to find your voice and to find your strength and your confidence again so that you can show up in your relationship again. Here's what I see a lot. Women come to me thinking they have two choices: stay and keep feeling like this, or hopefully try to figure out how to be more okay with the situation, which I don't like that option, or to leave. And then in that, you feel like you're blowing up everything that you've built over all of these years. And both of these situations really feel impossible. So you say stuck, not making any decision, which remember, not making a decision is still making a decision. It's just deciding to keep things the same, right? It's deciding to stay in the same situation that you're not happy with. But here's what I've learned from my own life experience and from working with women in exactly this place. There's really a third option. My husband and I did not go to couples therapy. I was definitely unhappy. I didn't know what the answer was. I just knew that something had to change. So I started. Didn't have a plan, didn't know where it was going to take me or even really what I was doing along the way. What I found was, more importantly than a fixed marriage, I was really able to reconnect with myself. I learned to trust my own instincts again, maybe for the first time ever, honestly. And I stopped letting the fear of what was on the other side be the thing that made my decisions for me. And when I started showing up from this place, everything changed. Not because he changed, but because I changed. I made the effort to work on all of my stuff, all the dysfunctional, ineffective ways I was showing up in my relationship and all of my unsuccessful relationships in the past, by the way. I worked on all of that to work on me, to get myself in a good place. I learned how to stop making myself smaller. Learned how to stop trying to avoid difficult situations or make things easier all the time. Honestly, I did this for me because I was so tired of doing all the other things that were in the name of not fighting and getting along better. But honestly, I still felt like shit. And I had to take care of me first. So I did. And here's what happens when you do this work: the relationship has to respond to it. There is literally no other possibility. And that is what I help women do. When one person in the relationship changes, the relationship dynamic will change. There's no other way for it to go, right? You don't realize what an impact that is going to have, but it's actually huge every single time. And that is the work I help women do. Even if you have a long history of unhealthy, dysfunctional relationships, you didn't learn how to have a healthy relationship, so you went from one unhealthy relationship to another, and then here you are in your marriage, yet another unhealthy relationship. This is exactly the work to do, is to start with you. If any of this is landing for you, if you've been in the loop that I was describing, if you feel like you've been just repeating the same dysfunctional or unhealthy patterns in your relationships for years and you don't think it's possible to learn anything different, I made a free guide for you to start with. It's got 3 questions. It's not a huge list of things for you to answer. It's not a quiz. It's 3 specific questions and a bonus question, actually, that you answer to help you get honest with yourself about what's actually going on. Most women that I work with have never let themselves answer these questions out loud. And just doing that, just telling the truth on paper and to yourself, will shift something. The link is in the description. Download it. Find somewhere quiet. Give yourself some time, a few minutes, to go over these questions. And if you want to keep going from here, coming up next in the series is going to be about the 2 most common reasons that women find themselves asking, should I stay or should I go? And why the answer is almost never as simple as it looks. So I will see you there.